in terms of the kind of things I think must form our campaigns and must form our deliverables as a team on this side of opposition. But I'll also be sharing how to deliver them. I have taken a lot of time. As I've been silent, wakati nimekuwa nimenyamaza. Ni vizuri niseme, nimekuwa nikiangalia nchi ya Kenya in all the sectors. And I have actually, with a very small team, come up with almost a full booklet. It's not a manifesto. We have had this word many times. I have an opportunity to be at a place I'm serving Kenya, where I had the bad eye of Kenya across all the sectors. So I have taken time to scroll through every sector. What is it that we can do to the people of Kenya? What is it that we can do in every sector? So that after next year, August, Kenya becomes a much better country than even where President Mwai Kibaki left. And I insist this, I want to say for those who are watching us for the first time and hearing maybe about Kihara for the first time. Kihara constituency, which I represent, is a very vast constituency. In fact, our two neighbors are smaller than Kihara in all respects. Mass, number of voters, landmass. Number of voters, landmass, number of schools, across all respects. And I am very glad to stand here as member of parliament for Kihara, serving my second term, because we have been able to transform many things across the education sector. And just two. Being a vast rural constituency, we have many schools, public primary schools. We have actually around 120 public primary schools in Kihara. And I want to confirm here to the people of Kenya that all our public primary schools, the one we got, the one we have built, children in a rural constituency like Kihara, they got in our public primary schools. Jambo la pili ningetaka nitaje chapati na sio ile ya machini. Hii ni chapati kabisa. And that is my letter. I'll be giving crystal clear where I'll start politically and for me, these are my expectations together with the people on the opposition whom will be seeking an opportunity to deliver Kenya next year. On the education sector, and I'll be giving just a summary. We start from ECD. I know that the board function. The points I'll be giving, some may require changes in law. Others may require just an executive direction. Others just funding. So I'll give them knowing that some may actually require changes in our laws. ECD, as it is in Kenya, we have to change it from next year. We have to change it and have our ECD trainers and teachers either at a TSC or a TSC equivalent. I believe this is possible so that we have a body that is looking at the welfare of all ECD teachers from hiring to transfers to the remuneration, so that even as they seek their welfare, they can canvass that in the national arena. The second thing is on secondary schools. I want to confirm to Kenyans, the team I belong in, I will belong in, and the people we are going to hold hands with, we must, from January of 2028, deliver free basic education. And start that with our senior secondary schools. Of the 3.5 million Kenyans and learners in our senior secondary schools, we only require an additional 35 billion Kenya shillings. My proposal is as follows: that NCDF will contribute 10 billion shillings into that kit. National, the equitable share of our counties, because they also give bursaries. They also contribute 10 billion Kenya shillings. And that issue is that the national government to give in 15 billion Kenya shillings. 35 billion Kenya shillings is enough to give all our Kenya. Our universities, we have a challenge. Mimi nimepata fursa nimeitwa na university students na nimeweza kuona ya kwamba the demographics are changing. Wale wanasoma kama sisi kutoka familia hazijiwezi, nimeona ni gumu sana, kwa sababu students engineering, nimeenda kwa madaktari na nikaona shida ya watu kutoka, and I want to finish first with social response, because there are two which are social investments. education, the other one is health. Education, health. Hapo ni mawili nimeona yale changamoto kubwa. Sisi viongozi ya healthcare. Unapata kama system ambayo ina manage healthcare ya Wakenya wenyewe ni wenye. Jambo la pili, na hiyo ni changamoto kubwa, and I think I'm mixing language. I have looked at the amount of money we collect in our healthcare system. In whatever name you call it, the previous one of NHIF and the current one, and contributing into NSSF, ili pensions, ya retirement. We reduce by 50%. Na yenye hawatakuwa narudi kwa mfuko kulipa. Many families have been ravaged by bills. As much as we are talking as leaders, and that is my within the same kitty of around 40 billion additional. It is enough money to take care of so that we can bring India here into Kenya instead of Kenyans going to India. We will be transforming these institutions so that they serve Kenyans and the region also. I have interacted with many doctors, and I have interacted with many healthcare professionals. Dear Kenyans, we must bite the bullet. It is clear that Kenya is right. Again, I give an example for an equivalent of TSC. Even in healthcare, Kenya must have the Kenya Doctors and Healthcare Workers Commission that will be managing the affairs of our doctors and healthcare workers. And I'm saying this knowing that it is a default function, but laws are made for the man, not man for the law. You can imagine now that a doctor in Nyamira and seek a fresh job at the other place. If we have a national platform to manage our healthcare workers, this will be a good opportunity, first of all, to harmonize, also to ease also their welfare in terms of transfers. Also, we have activities. Come to my office. Because the lady has a son who is a doctor who is doing the The other lady in the same meeting, a pharmacist, also unemployed. Every Kenyan watching us tonight, all families, all most of them are having a challenge of people who have gone to school. They are willing and able that we study from Singapore that we all hear about. I know you are almost laughing. To South Korea, to China, and all these countries. The of growth, which creates an energetic movement in grow our manufacturing sector. To secure jobs for the young. In this you cannot talk about manufacturing without talking about the cost of power. And that is why we have to totally liberalize power sector. The public service you are hearing from government is not enough. Liberalization has to happen. If and they can produce their power to use, and bringing the cost of power down in Kenya. We have an institution called KenGen, majority owned by the people through the government. The current is around 75 billion Kenya shillings. Yet it is this. Just to cite like two, transport power in Nigeria, direct power in Nigeria. There is a transaction ongoing in Philippines, a country called EDC, producing less than 10 gen. Yet the valuation is I'm talking about early 2028. We must leverage half a trillion assets of KenGen. The government must advertise internationally and sell 35% of KenGen into a partner that knows much more about power, so that we fetch close to 150 billion Kenya shillings